All
then
right, so
everything is
our
good.
application development is complete. Now we just got to build it and deploy it on the cloud so we can use it. You can access it using a URL using your web browser.
Yeah, definitely. We can proceed for the next step now.
So this is an important part. This is called deployment. In large organizations, there is a whole team that manages deployment and release. Here, it's a simple app, so we are not gonna make it more complicated than it should be. But it is an important part of the process, and there's a lot of checks and controls in places for an organization before it gets released. So we cover those things in the DevOps portion of our course, so feel free to check that out. Go ahead, Anurag.
Yeah, sure. So the thing that we'd be using for deploying is called Heroku. So Heroku is a PaaS, like platform as a service which they provide, where we can directly deploy our apps, and like they provide us link directly for testing. It is much more easier to use Heroku for deploying smaller apps.
So Heroku is like a cloud hosting platform, just like
Yes,
Google Cloud
like you
or
can consider this somewhat similar to App Engine of GCP, like Google Cloud Platform.
got it. I see. So it's
So
similar
first
to
of all,
AWS, but it's very quick and easy, and it's
no, not similar. We can consider like it is similar to EC2 of AWS,
got it.
because
EC2 of AWS.
yeah, AWS is a complete infrastructure and this is just one small component,
Got it.
Heroku. So let me name this application in here, easy, ECHR, right?
Hmm.
This name is not available. Let me put 1 0. Okay, it's available. It's great.
Let's call it Jane's Easy HR.
Okay.
J as in J as in Jim.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's available. Now reason, it will be United States. Now click on this create tab. And the steps for deploying everything. Okay, going to be authenticated. So what I was saying was like the steps for deploying and all, it will be provided here itself. So how to deploy using Heroku Git. So we just need to follow these steps. Before that, we have to do some steps, which I'll show it to. And before initializing, I mean, before starting a deployment, I consider you to go to this Heroku CLI and install it in your local system.
I assume you've already done that.
Yes, I have already done that. Now I have to make some changes to the, I have to build a Angular part.
What is this? You're building the Angular so that it's ready to be deployed. Is that what you're doing?
Yes, so in now you could see in this Angular compiler, there are like bunch of files, like there are numerous numbers of files. So after uh, building, what it does is like compiles everything and it will give you just 5 or 6 copies of files containing all the necessary all the necessary things only. So it will
Got it.
remove all the gibberish part. So this is what compiling does. I mean building does.
So
So
building is
we
a
have
crucial part of software deployment, and you're about to show us how you build software, how you build and compile everything together. And that's what's happening right now. Okay.
so since now production build, and we have to set the domain localhost would no longer apply.
Where do you get that domain from?
Actually, this is what happened. Like this is a normal domain structure which you get after deploying in Heroku, like your app name dot herokuapp.com. This is what you get.
And you
And
added
since
API to it?
yes, because we added some so in our backend API endpoints. This is why I'm adding this part in here.
Got it.
Next, we have to do is like simply build this one. And we build
These are some of what you're doing here are some nuances that are very unique to each and every organization. So what I hope you as a student are getting from this is overall processes and not necessarily getting hung up on the specific steps.
Yeah, and also like it varies from tech stack to tech stack.
Yeah. But the overall
And so,
processes that we are building right now, this is the building step before
yeah,
you
the overall
deploy.
process is similar, but you can see the nitty gritty like NZ build I'm using for building here. The command might not be same for the other tech stack. It would be different.
Yeah.
So this is the thing. So for building, I'll simply type it out NZ build / I mean hyphen prod is a flag. Let that know that it's a production build. And in here, like I need to make a couple of changes in the backend side too. First of all, I have to this and to point this to the application. Since it is building, let me get another file. It's called heat ignore. Since this Heroku deployment is similar to repository deploy like Git, so we have to like it's a repository only. So we have to exclude certain things such as the node modules, which are like unnecessary to put them in the server. This is why I'm adding this file getting here. That's it. Yeah. Let me check if the build is completed. Now this is the file that got produced after building this. It contains all the things that we have covered. I mean, we have developed till now. So we'll simply copy and paste it over here. The server one, as we'll be deploying only this particular file. So yeah, that's what I told. As you could see, just a few files it contains rather than the entire directory which was there initially during development. So here we just if we're just checking if this is a production run or not. If it is a production run, we are pointing to this particular file in here, index.html.
So I don't need to
And
go through the line by line code. Can we
yeah,
just build this, Anurag?
yes, the build got completed. I just need to push it now. I will simply follow the steps that they have provided. Heroku login. Then this one cd my project. I'm already in my project directory, so I do not have to perform this one. Then next I'll do this git init. Git init. Then copy this line, the commit message. Oh, I forgot to add this line.
So these are the steps of deploying
To Heroku.
through
It varies
Heroku.
from, yeah.
Each and every platform that you use has its own unique set of processes and steps to follow when it comes to deployment. So I highly recommend you review those steps for the particular platform of your choice. This is what Heroku has.
Okay, just miss another line. And now this is the final one, git push Heroku master. If you move to the first step, you can see like You can see real time, like what is happening, which process is it going. Yeah, build succeeded and deployed. Now what we can do is like simply click on this open app. Oh, I just missed one part. I have to remove this one.
So you made some changes now. You're redeploying, and
Double, I'm not. Your voice is not audible.
okay, so you just made some changes and you are redeploying. Is that an accurate statement?
Yes, yes, Double, that's correct. I just found I missed one part. I had to remove this. So this is what I mentioned before, like real time. As the build is happening, you can see like build is in progress. And as soon as it succeed, it says build succeed. Now you can open the app and check.
Can we open it in a new incognito window?
Yeah, yeah.
So this is something anyone in the world can access now. You have fully deployed that simple employee management application.
Yes, that's correct. And the credential is the same that we have made previously. And it's like the admin too. And the password is, what was it? Pass. One, two,
Okay,
three.
sounds good.
So yeah, that's it. We're into the dashboard where we can like add new employee, edit, delete, all the things that we did locally. It can be done from this app, from this URL now.
Wow, okay. Can I share my screen?
Yeah, sure, sure.
Can you see it?
Yes, Dhaval.
Cool. So what we did in the last hour or so is we came up with an idea of an app. We decided the scope of the product. We decided to identify the minimal set of features we're gonna build. We chose our technology stack. We chose to build those individual components in our stack using Angular, Node, MongoDB, and we tested everything using Postman API. Finally, we built everything together and we deployed it on Heroku app, and we were able to access it using browser, web browser. And that's what we accomplished in this video. So we took you all the way from ideation to launch of a web application. Now, the processes are very similar, whether you launch a mobile app, whether you launch a desktop app, whether you launch a web app. We'll be making individual videos that are more concise and more tailored for each and every domain that we work on in the future. But this was a starting point for you to understand the software development process, product development process. Now, there are a few things I want to highlight here. Don't get hung up on the code because it will change depending on your application. Don't get hung up on the individual components because that will change along with your application. You may choose to build your application on Google Cloud or AWS, and this whole process will be, the deployment process will be very different. But the overall steps that we have are very similar, which is, develop front end, develop back end, set up cloud database, set up API endpoints, test the API endpoints, connect API to the front end, and all of that. So I hope this was a good overview for you. Um, I'm looking forward to be able to do more of this type of hands-on videos with your ideas as a product manager. As a technical product manager, I'm looking forward to work with you to build unique products and unique experiences that are more tailored to your vision in a future video. And we cover those things in our immersion program, in our boot camp program. So I'm looking forward to have you and do this with you one-on-one live in a group setting with our development and design team. If you want to learn more about that, feel free to connect with us on our platform or reach out to us on social media. However, this was a bonus for you. I wanted to share this with you. Hopefully, this was not very overwhelming. I know there were a lot of details, there was a lot of little things that you may not get it, and that's fine. As you saw from what I was doing, I did not fully grasp each and every line of the code either. And as a technical product manager, your job is to not necessarily understand each and every line of the code, but create a vision, create a roadmap, and understand the big components so that you can guide and make the decisions for business on behalf of technology. So that was that. I hope you enjoyed this. Any last words, Anurag? Thank you so much. You're such a competent developer. I wouldn't have felt that we could have completed this. I wouldn't have had the confidence unless it wasn't for you, Anurag. So, well, first of all, I've never done this with you in a live setting. So, big props to you for just barreling through it and solving all the issues as it came up. Super confident of you. I'm really appreciative of your talent and your patience to help us get this going and launch this simple application. Any last words from you before we get going?
Uh, yeah, so the last word would be like we'll be providing all the links, necessary links such as like a MongoDB, Cloud MongoDB or something like that. You can go through them, like you can, and also the app that we have deployed, we'll be providing it in the link description link. We can like you can go through the link and like have a look like how it look like the look and feel you can get from of the application. So
Awesome.
that's it.
Thank you. Thank you, Anurag. Thank you,
Uh,
everyone.
thank you.
Cheers.